afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dame. We're off here to the exciting 1 versus 1 on Crossing in the Woods here in the south between Ahagauboni, fighting for Germany, for the Reich, for the Kampf, Gruppe Dietrich, going up here versus Sturmtiger Giap, fighting for the Soviet Union, for the glory of the Soviet peoples, and Comrade Stalin taking on the lead here for the 2nd Tank Corps with Guards motor right off the bat. He's got a bit of tank bulletins there, but otherwise infantry. For Pony, we've got fortification, scavenge, and breakthrough with lots of infantry there. Full screen, we've got the truck already up there. We've got Sturm Pioneers here, so it looks like he's making very hard left there. Spreading a bit out here on the other hand for Giap, at least initially. Might be he'll try and sort of push towards here and here at the same time. Also, of course, an early Special Rifle Command, then with Stravniki arriving there. So adding a bit in of troops there as well of the heavier caliber versus Pony, who seemingly briefly tried to set up some heavy, well, barbed wire there, but apparently decided against it. Nein, wir brauchen nicht Stacheldraht sehr. We need it over there. I think, anyways, or is it over there? And his points are being rapidly secured. He's moving straight for the missions there, and looks like he's in fact heading for the fuel over there. Where shall the penal troops then move? On the other hand, where shall their target, their destination be? Truck hanging about there, being all of a truck, listening to some music, talking. Two full squares joining up. They've got a 3rd squad on the way here for Pony, while Giap is wiring off. A bit of heavy cover there. Fuel being secured there. Stravniki moving up. And there you go. First engagement. Truck moving heavy. Got the forces there coming under fire from the Commandeers. Mercenary guns and Karnak TK singing out across the battlefield. Being flanked here. And we got the 3rd Force squad there. And we got an early scout car here for Giap. Only one Stravniki unit before the scout car is summoned forth to the front line. Looks like Giap is basically going away from there, moving over here to maybe even harass here a bit. Though in this case he's going to be countered here by Volksgrenadier squad. Though of course this Stravniki could turn around. No, he's moving in the truck there to push around a bit. Pony driving dirty. Then we got the M3A1, might be what the Stravniki are waiting for. Doesn't quite have the munition to build up game. We've got another unit there on the way for Giap. Points over here secured. All well. Soon Pony will be in for a bit of a nasty surprise as the scout car gets close. Though he could maybe wait just a few more seconds to get the resources sufficient for a flank, in which case he could really lay down the hammer upon Pony's troops. We actually got the truck here driving back to the base, setting up a battle group headquarters there. Usually see that on the front line, but in this case he drove it up then all the way back to the base to finally set up a battle group headquarters. A bit more unusual. And there we go, we got some reinforced steel barricades going up to deny the cover, then the other way around after the other got cleared by the truck. Strongman looks like he's just harassing. They're going to draw in Pony to counterattack here. We got 2nd unit arriving here. Like to move down there. Company is pulling up. Conscripts securing everything here. So far no engagement there. It's all been contained towards the right or left hand side with a bit of a centre. But looks like he's actually abandoning the left hand there. Maybe mistake going to see if he can't hit Giap elsewhere, maybe overwhelm a single unit. We've got the conscript squad there. This is going for 2 Stravniki, 2 conscripts here. Interesting, a bit like Matthias of yesterday. And there we go, switching over the flamethrower unit here. Nicely done now by Giap. Conscripts there quickly ooh-ing away to avoid an ooh shit as they find themselves with bullets. Looks like he's blobbing up, launching a bit of a human wave assault, looks like, in which case Giap is basically pulling away. No, he's not going to charge right into that. He's trying to draw away and instead going to hit elsewhere, do some damage, maybe catch an isolated unit. In this case, the Volksgrenadiers, the scout car and the flamethrowers and the 50 cover there mounted on the front. Really taking into this. Volksgrenadiers getting a few casualties. There we go, the flak half or emplacement opening up. Forcing him to pull a bit there. Pony's assault continues across the right side, though there's few forces so far to respond though from Giap. Was occupied basically securing the left hand side. So basically in this case we're having a map exchange, if you will. We're basically sort of handing over each other's side of the map. But this time now though, there's an opportunity here for Giap to do a lot of damage, as now Pony has spread out his forces across each point here. So a quick strike here from this unit could actually do a lot of damage if he were to do so, but he might actually want to repair it first, I don't know. But it's certainly an option there to consider for Giap. Another Ura away. If we say Ura while moving away from the enemy, it will not be seen as a retreat. So please do it. I don't want to get shot. Getting sniper there on the way for Giap. Now, oh, Panzer Strike up. Except Heinz, there's a lousy shot. But he actually managed to force away. Pony there retreating immediately, giving actually an opening here for the scout counter. Conscripts quickly push away. We got a bit of light fighting over here. Stravniki versus Volkswagen. The Volkswagen actually moving closer to the Stravniki. Might have been an attempt to the grenade, but there you go. Got Steel Empires counterattacking. Stravniki forced to fall back. Commerce might try and ruin support, I suppose, for conscripts as well. Well, I suppose we could try and get the sniper. But there you go. Forces that run off the field. And there you go. Flamethrower as well for these Stravniki. Though they are quickly bleeding out. Here's the Steel Empire here. Sturmgewehre tear through them. Nothing from the battle group headquarters so far. We got fortifications. There's Joseph and MD-34 arriving to support him. Might be trying here for a squat while, then he's going to be careful he doesn't get cut in the emplacement there. On the other hand, the MD-34 also needs to be careful he doesn't get singed. Well, hand it over to the Russians. But there you go, again moves on. There you go, flanking placements opening up, really tearing through that light scout car, almost knocking it out. But they make it, although the ones inside might feel like they're about to die. Flanking positions up there. Good job there. And there you go, Giap now has a definite fuel advantage over Pony there, though Pony might be one to then try to refocus and counterattack towards here and set up something that more resembles a front line, which is overall going to make it more difficult for Giap to sort of drive through them and do terrible, terrible things. Giap could be going now already here for a tank battalion command or mechanized armor Campania if he wanted. Of course, he might instead use resources for something else. So far, though, by the way, no sign of him actually using his doctrine, no Guards infantry. Then again, he doesn't have the command points for it, so obviously not going to have him there right away. Pony there, flanking with a resource. We've got a truck moving up. He might try for Schwerpanzer quarters then. Quite common to see them set up around the fuel points, sort of guard them versus the vile non-German foe. Mines moves up there, he's taking no chance in. The Giap has actually, I don't believe, laid down any mines. All munitions are going towards flamethrowers for the penal troops. And the sniper so far he hasn't done anything either. He's not been sort of really trying to sort of prowl with them and hunt down some fascists. There you go, Schwerpanzer quarter setting up. You got the 37mm flat there on the back. Scout cover again, and there we go, tank of battalion command going up there for Giap, so he's going for some armor initially. He could go for the T-70, or he could aim straight for the T-34-76 if he wanted. The options are there. Both will have their advantages and disadvantages. And looks like the scout car sitting up with the left flank. They might soon get a nasty surprise. Then again, actually could secure the fuel point there if he just plays it safe. But there we go, in this case he got a bit too close. Ow! Shit! Knocked out, and we see a full retreat here from Giap as his raid rather encountered a serious obstacle of the 37mm caliber kind. Now, as opposed to the job of Soviet scouts, which in many cases generally just involved moving ahead until they encountered the enemy and then sort of, you know, dying horribly in some cases. Tank over tank command going up, those snipers just shooting a bit away, getting a few kills. Points there being secured. Giap though managed to keep Pony a bit sort of contained, but out. Pony sort of managed to focus up his forces again, which overall gives him a bit more of an advantage here. And again going for the cut-off point there, striking here at the weak point in Pony's forces.
Send orders!
Lacking a coherent defense. Giap is so far taking nicely advantage of it. We got some orbitals down there following up though. Not uncommon, not uncommon. He lacks the fuel for the looks, so he goes straight for the orbital garden, which are also in many cases a more safer choice, and certainly would encounter later issue with the, say, T-34 that he's getting a T-70 in this case. Certainly also lacking in anti-tank, so T-70 will actually do quite well, even with only a single Panzer strike. The T-70 will say, no, he cancelled the T-70, he's going straight for the T-34-76. Maybe a bit worried about the looks, wanting something a bit more serious towards that. T-34 isn't half bad versus infantry either, so... Not all bad. But with the orbital down now, Giap will see a bit more pressure there applied to his troops as they move ahead there with their LMG-34. Bit of light of fire there. Photos being slowly gunned down there. Got the MG-34 coming to the left munitions point. Pony here intent on definitely getting as much as possible so he can get more Panther strikes up, I imagine, to deal with their armoured threats going to come his way. There you go, Giap now has the option of the T-34, and there we go, it is on the way. Snipers are getting caught here with the orbital Darden. Trying to cut them down there. Almost did it, almost did it. Didn't quite succeed there. Damn close there for Giap. And straight into the mine. And most of the entire unit just got blown up in the face of poor Heinz there. Most of the forces are mobilising. Left flank open, right flank we are seeing a bit of pressure there. Pony doing his best to take away territory there from Giap. And we're seeing a lot more orbitals done coming out there. Looks like he's feel like he's got nothing else. His fuel certainly has been hampered quite a bit there by Giap. And certainly a Panther's going to be some time off. So he's aiming straight there for the orbital down that way. He's trying to gain an infantry advantage versus Giap that way, try to basically overwhelm him and mow him down. No, he actually cancelled one unit. Of course, he could be saving up for a Pack 43, though there's still some time for that. Rakettenwerfer, though, would be a good choice. I mean, he's still going to be, with only one Panther, giving two, still be vulnerable to a single T-34-76. There we go. Shot, oh, Storm Pioneers, they're trying to do what they can with the countergets, but, oh, didn't quite succeed. And looks like we've got Giap here launching an assault. We even got the truck moving ahead. I'm not entirely sure what he's thinking here. The result, though, is a hit there from a T-34-76. On the 13mm flank there is trying to blast it out of the wall. We got troops moving in there, a large infantry force from Pony. Problem is only one anti-tank weapon to deal here with the T-34. He's moving up there, he's trying on the flanking plates. He's actually ignoring the infantry. More importantly, clever. He's actually using the T-34 to draw the fire of the flag emplacement, then using it as a diversion to move up truck to the satchel tower. Ow! Moved a bit too close there, but he's actually going to get it, I think. There we go. And there we go. He's losing the T-34-76. He took heavy engine losses, but he got the Schwerpanzer headquarters, thus delaying any taking from Pony severely. And in that sense, any Panther, in which case he's actually bought himself quite some time. So the question is, what will Pony do after this rather severe setback? I mean, that was a pretty cleverly executed attack there by Giap, albeit, well, I suppose, typically Soviet, high on casualties. A bit of resource there being salvaged. But again, what will Pony do after this? I mean, he's a lot closer now to the Pack 43. But, geez, it's a bit short there. I mean, there's not really a lot of options here. I mean, you could try and take up again, but that's certainly going to be a lot more resource, whereas Giap can just basically begin stringing up now for more tanks if he wanted, easily. He might want to get a fuel carrier up. And there's not really quite that kind of option there for Pony. I mean, a desperate option could be going for the Yak Panther 4, but that's hardly the most efficient or safest. We've got the orbital down though, still providing plenty of pace, and certainly without tanks to worry about, they have a bit more free room to operate in, although there'll of course still be mines and snipers hiding in the grass. Giving a high velocity lobotomy to anyone who might pop their heads out a bit too far. Even sprinting about now, getting a bit bold. There we got this Strafniki counterattacking. Seconds now down the way for Giap. He's going to focus on the infantry even further. Could it be he's just going to shift over to the T-45? Though again, if he is going to do that, fuel catches would be a very good investment there for Giap. Orbstan here falling back with the snipers backing up the Strafniki assault. The lack of any vehicles or armor is definitely proving apparent here for Pony. Even with the might of his orbital Darden, even there he can't do much. Oh! Got though, and Strafniki unit there. 2 LMG-34s in the hands of elite troops. Definitely making short work of those fellows. We got them prowling around here in the background. Another attempt at T-7 again. Seems like Giap can't quite make up its mind. Should he get one or should he not? Or should he get a T-34? I mean, or should he just wait for the T-35? There certainly seems to be a bit of indecision there at Giap, which could also affect his decision making a bit. Got another truck here out for Pony. Snipers there teaming up. Pony though still sort of pushing back. Giap though, I mean he's certainly warmed up one infantry unit, but even then he's struggling at this point. He's certainly not quite going as easily as he might have wanted. And there you go, got the Sturm Pioneers almost wiped out. Ah, Heckenschütze, zurückfallen. Ach nein. Either way though, things are not looking too good. Here we got the other side moving up there. The other one's gefechtsbereit as well. What shall Pony do about this though? He needs something to sort of really put a scare into his opponent. Problem is, he's essentially lacking the units that can really do it. He's got no quick light armor that can sort of quickly pursue, say, some infantry or some snipers and deal with them that way. I mean, if he were to go for a Schwerpanzer course right now, he could rush out a Lux and that could actually probably catch Giap a bit off guard, but that would certainly also then again leave him further vulnerable to a T-30-45 hit. And that's probably, or well, any kind of heavy armor, which might be what Pony's worrying about. Though, of course, he could get a Pack 43 up to sort of deal with things there. Bit more salvage there. Getting the other fuel point there. We got a demo charge there, though. Surprisingly, no one got caught. But it's time for the mid-game analysis. Current situation is, it's a rather heavy infantry battle at the moment. We got a few snipers here for Giap, sort of quickly picking off Germans here and there. Got some support weapons here for Pony on the other hand, but overall, I mean, he's got a lot of troops, but on the other hand, he's bleeding out rather heavily in part due to the snipers. He doesn't really have anything to sort of quickly shift things in his favour. He's lacking some artillery. The light infantry gun at the current moment isn't really good in that direction. The question is really, he's got one truck. Will he go for the mechanized regiment, in which case a flat half track might have a chance. A Puma could also work. Stukas of Fuss maybe as well, but that would certainly further delay any sort of liquidity dealt with any armour, which is clearly inbound. He could go for a Schwerpanzer, of course, again. It's going to be Lux or going to be a Panther. I mean, either way, he's, after that loss there, he's really in a bad position. He's not really got a lot of serious options. In the end, I mean, he should probably go for that one. Get a Lux out, get a Pack 43 up in a good position, cover it, and then otherwise try to hunt down the snipers first. That way he might have a chance of basically bleeding out Giap, surely but slowly. But it's going to be tricky, it's going to be risky, and he's definitely not going to be having sort of the best chances. For Giap, on the other hand, I mean, he's cleaning for the T-30-45 now, but he should definitely get some fuel cache up to sort of further support that, sort of make it even faster, even easier, even more secure. Thus ensuring he has a better chance there, sort of basically stumping down Pony. Otherwise, infantry-wise, he's looking pretty good. He suffered some casualties. He's quickly building up a large infantry force now to sort of further pressure Pony and sort of exert map control that way, which is overall a good move as well. But overall, I don't think there's much else to comment on, so let's go back to the fight here already. Attention! Enemy infantry! Country's moving ahead here. Got snipers moving in. These folks goes in for a very bad day. If they try to retreat, they'll probably run right through them, in which case they'll hit straight through the demo charge. There we go. Sniper shooting. Got a bit lucky there. They took a different retreat path. Another Panzerschreck up. Still nothing with the truck. Country getting caught up in the water, and they are definitely being sunk in the process. Country go here, quickly getting gunned down as well. The old Soldaten definitely worth their weight in manpower, if not more. And certainly probably the only thing that's really keeping Pony alive and in game at the moment. If not for them, he'd probably been pushed off the field completely. Still nothing happening with that truck. Pony still building up an ever large cache of fuel there. He's doing nothing with it. Come on now. Comes in a bit. Exposed position there. MG-34s there raking the thin wooden walls. tank through the structure, causing almost collapse. And there we go, got sniping up support. Jürgen went down, but Dieter, though, on the other hand, survived an encounter with the sniper's bullet by not being hit by it. Pony's floating quite a bit of resources. It seems like he's also a bit indecisive as well. He's not sure what he wants to go for either. And, oh, Gott im Himmel, he's getting a Jagdpanzer IV, which will certainly help prepare for the incoming armoured threat where it comes from, but it won't really do much versus snipers or the infantry, which is also hitting him. Now we got one sniper there, veteran C2, 16 kills. Mechanized Regiment headquarters up. I suppose it could be a name for flak half tank. I mean, that would help versus the infantry. Also keep the snipers a bit cautious there. Puma could also work. I suppose he could try and play straight for the Stukas of Fuß, although that's risky. And there we go again, going for the cut-off point. Giap very aggressive there. Good tactical sense. Feeling that his opponent constantly sensing the time to strike this towards the centre. Well done there. And there we go, we got Pony there charging for the centre. Ooh, snipers, they need to be careful. And there we go, quick sprint from one unit. Jagdpanzer mobilised. Or Panzer IV 70 technically. The Jagdpanzer IV was only sort of its predecessor known as that. Little fun fact, which otherwise the predecessor had the exact same gun as the Panzer IV and the Stugs. What it did have on the other hand was sloped armour, which the other two really didn't have. So, little fun fact there. Interesting enough, he's not trading for resources then once he got it. I mean, why would you then go for it at this point in the game and not try to get more fuel for, say, you know, some armour, some vehicle to strike at your opponent? Strikes me as a bit odd there by Pony. He should definitely do something about that, I feel. But at least he's getting a lot of territory there. He's actually sort of getting into it, but again, Giap strikes back and wears up the defenders once more. Come on, Pony, though. Trade for resources. And of course, the Jagdpanzer IV currently can do nothing at all but wait. I mean, he's pretty much forced to just stand about there, so that's again 400 watts, 70 manpower, 135 fuel, doing absolutely nothing because he can't do anything at all. It's basically just waiting for Giap to find him around those T-30-45s, in which case it'll still be struggling or rather heavily to deal with those armoured beasts. He's actually having to shoot at infantry just to do something, but not exactly doing a stellar job at it. Even while they are essentially in negative cover. There we go, now he just needs the manpower and can begin really making things miserable here for Pony. Port there secured. Got the steel pioneers rising head straight into the conscripts. Taking some nasty losses. And there we go, the T-35s around the battlefield. The Volksgrenadiers with their Panzertrex. Not really much chance of stopping that kind of armoured assault there. Crashing trucks and foliage beneath their tracks as they advance across the crossing. Going straight there for the Jagdpanzer IV, quickly sending right there. Pony has to divine what's coming towards it. And it misses. Nice shooting there, Fritz. Danke. I didn't need it, you idiot. Mark vehicle on top of everything. Their shots don't manage to bounce, even at this range. Shots bounced again. Missed. My God. Again? What's going on here? I think they actually managed to crush a unit there, but that's about it. Overall, this was an armoured raid that... I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I mean, statistically, that should never happen. They kept either missing or bouncing. And the thing is, at that range, the Jagdpanzer IV's armour is not really suited towards bouncing many shots off. So in that case, Pony got insanely lucky, to put it mildly. On the other hand, I mean, Giap was able to salvage both his tanks, so it was not hardly like it completely went awry. They actually got a few kills, but I imagine the Giap Panzer crew is thanking their maker for that one. In the end, it still managed to itself do absolutely nothing except draw fire and apparently catch poor Dimitri in the treads. Whoa, it actually killed some infantry. Well, that was... the crew made a pact with the devil, I don't know. Tank there being repaired, could speed it up with some engineers repairing it. Snipers killing away. Still waiting for that one tank to get repaired. We've got some larger action. We've got the MD-54 coming, the fuel pond there, ensuring that Pony can keep that. Question is, what will Pony go for now? Apparently, he's getting a Pack 43. Or was. Then decided against it. No, he's getting it, realising he needs to pound something more. So he's got a Giap Panzer. Now he's getting a Pack 43 there. A mixed Panzerjäger group, it would seem. Not sure what he's doing with the truck there, man. He's getting up for another Spear Panzer quarter, but he's about to get knocked out there. And I think Pony's a bit too occupied with other things. Tank striking in, there we go. Truck down again. Fultz was in trouble with the T-35s. There we go. Unit wiped. And the loss to the right. And there we go. Oh, he didn't pop an anti-tank grenade there on that. I think he took too many losses. And overall there, the ob's done. I think we'll wipe them on retreat. Giap Panzer moving it, trying to catch those T-35s, but they're going around here. Might spot the Pack 43 going in which case I imagine they'll try to knock it out before they're actually able to turn on them. Troops getting crushed there. Oh, Oberstein unit roadkill. Fultz is almost the same as well. Giap Panzer opening up there. Pack 43 trying to turn. Giap Panzer 4 takes a hit, which actually penetrates. And there we go. Mark vehicle up again. One more hit, and that's good night, Fritz. And there we go. Down to the Pack 43, which is easily being circled right here. Troops trying to do some damage, but they were all getting slaughtered. And there we go, the Pack 43 crew never fired a shot. Completely murdered. Nicely executed there by Giap. Fultz was there getting shot down. No survivors. Both tanks are being pulled back from repairs. Giap has so far actually relied only on the later Patriot Doctor. No guards infantry. No heavy mortars whatsoever. And there we go, got the sniper sprinting away. And overall, Pony's forces are decimated now. I think he might try and pop the satchel. No, he doesn't have the munitions for the satchel on that Pack 43. I imagine he's going to try and recruit that. There we go. Schwere Panzerabwehrkanone. This, by the way, being the early model. There was actually one that was sort of meant. It was actually originally meant to be in a sort of cruciform mount, a bit like the Flak 88. The problem was initially they didn't have the mounts for that, so they had to make use of the mount for the EF-18 howitzer. But he actually cleared out there with the snipers. Cheeky little bastard, 13 and 17 kills. They've definitely done their part on the war. Tanks ready. And what does Pony have to show for it? Not a lot, really. But again, going for it. Going out, it might be too late. Scavenging the Giap Panzer there for resources. Got Panzer 6 for plenty going in, but the T-35 got another moving, and there you go, got a unit retreating. Snipers moving in as well, and there you go, clearing out the Pack 43 again. Results at this point not really surprising. And there we go. Pack 43 decrewed again. T-34 here might actually get... No! Trying to crush here. Incendiary is now trying to set through, and there you go. One T-35 actually went down. There's barely any units left here. One Snuff actually got forced away. And there you go. MD-34 team on the run. And dead. And there we go. Pony surrenders. The Kampfgruppe pulls back. Heavily beaten. And heavily blooded. Game over there. A swift, brutal fight here. Giap displaying some good skills there. Good tactics. Again, the assault there on the Schwerpanzer headquarters, knocking out that way. Definitely took me by surprise. Not what you'd usually expect, but actually nicely executed there by him. And afterwards, I mean, Pony basically wasn't sure what to do. That gave Giap then further initiative and strategic advantage, as he had a clear idea what he wanted to do. He actually had a fuel carriage up there, overall giving him the big advantage. Pony then sort of reacting to the Jagdpanzers 4 and then a mechanized regiment, but without really training for resources. I mean, it was overall, Pony basically fell apart there. His strategy completely unraveled, and he really couldn't come up with a solid counter strategy to what was going on. And at that point, it basically sort of resulted in his loss slowly but surely. Otherwise, it was all infantry with nothing to really build it around or support it with. Not really the best use of his doctrine either. No mines. The Pack 43 could have easily been up earlier, and there certainly could have been other things up. So I think that's rather it. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everybody. If not, you know, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers, and thank you all for watching. Bye.